Yo, 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 what is going on, everybody? Hello, hello. It is so good to see you on this Tuesday evening for me. So I'm sorry I couldn't do a Tuesday morning stream, but still wanted to get a stream out and done and to chat with all of you lovely people because it has been an eventful week so far. I mean, we had the start of a new season over the weekend, and then 3 proposals dropped yesterday. And then land rentals come out today. We get the new summoner. So it feels like there's a lot that's just been bunched up. And I figured I would hop in live just for a little while. I probably only have an hour or so to chat tonight. And then I actually got to run to a studio session. So we'll do that and we'll talk and we'll see where things are at. But the best part about all of this is that the current backdrop for Bitcoin and crypto is looking phenomenal. We're over 65,000 again, which is crazy because Bitcoin essentially is pumped like 20% almost over the past week from that low of like 54. So, the rest of the market's starting to look pretty good, pretty spicy. There's talk about an Ethereum ETF as well. And, I would say alts haven't seemed like they're totally following just yet, right? You can even see here ETH, BNB, Gala's down at 2.5 cents still. But what's interesting is Gala pumped like 4x. It went from 2 cents to 8 cents a while back. Now it's dropped back down. And I wonder if that is, I have no idea what's going on with Gala, but I wonder if that would be a potential play there as well. Not financial advice, of course. Let me see here. Solana's at 160. Fantastic. I needed to get above 167. That would be great. And then I was looking at Prime for anybody who is, what happened to my kind of visual guide here? Prime was still at, let's see. Yeah, Prime's at about $9, 38 cents. So let's see, on the whole, how far did Prime move? Hold on, I'm checking on Coinbase right now, so I know it's not on screen. But if I look at Prime over the past week, it's up 26%. Okay, so never mind, maybe alts are moving. What is SPS on the week? There we check. Coin market cap. I don't know if we're gonna like what we see, but let's check it out anyway. Oh, okay, this is perfect. On the 7-day, you can see 13%. 13%. Okay, so the market is moving. I mean, alts are actually doing quite well. Not all of them, but it's still looking rather positive. I do want to check the gaming sector because I think gaming is just gonna move on its own at some point. I'm really thinking that we'll have, I shouldn't say think. I hope that we're going to have some kind of Axie Infinity moment again. I just don't know who's going to push it. Okay, so here's gaming. Dude, check it out. Immutable's up 20%. I don't know what Floki is, but that's up 33%. Axie's up 15, Beam 25. Oh, that's great. I need Beam to get above 30 cents again. Gala's up 13%. Sandbox, Ronin in the high teens. Even ApeCoin and GMT coming to the mix. Oh, Prime. Look at that beauty. 26%. Superverse is up as well. 21%. Illuvium 15. Okay, not bad. Pixels. This is a game that I am actually currently checking out. I'm just on the website. But it's one that people have been sending my way. So I'm going to see what's going on in that arena. If anybody else is playing, definitely let me know. Big Time's up 11%. But you know what? The thing is, what we're missing here is like, what's the 30-day? Yeah. So we don't have a 30-day because things are still down significantly. Heroes of Mavia coming out of nowhere. What did they announce? 80%. You know what's funny is I just deleted the app from my phone too, so I don't know. I'm missing the boat on that one. But you know what? You just can't play all of them. And I think I'm too wrapped up in Splinter. Oh my gosh, Gods Unchained doing a 2x. Let's freaking go. All right. Well, happy for the Gods Unchained folks. That's phenomenal. Let's see what else. My Neighbor Alice, Miria, Gamercoin. A lot of these I don't know or don't really follow. Alien World's still around, 15%. Guildfy, Eternity. I'm looking for Splinterlands, but I think we're going to be down. We're probably not even top 1,000 anymore. Damn, not even first page. Let's see. Oh, they're going to make me search it because we're not. Oh, no, there we are. So, yep, so we're not top 1,000 anymore. Market cap is at 8.8 million, and we are up a measly 8%. Yeah, that's not surprising. I don't know what to do, guys. I really don't. Okay, let's hop into the chat here. Status Survival says, I am not happy about land rentals. This is only going to make alpha cards that much more expensive. How am I supposed to get the full collection now? Well, it sounds like it's a good problem to have if alpha cards actually retain their value, and any of the other cards that are good on land, so Untamed and previous. Bananas is in the house. What's going on? SPS at 0.600666. We got the devil's number in this place. New Age. What's going on, New Age? Good to see you. Watching from the airport. Oh, Mr. Jet Setter over here. Where are you off to? Actually, I'll be traveling again this weekend for the next week, so that should be interesting. I just booked my tickets today, so it was all last minute. But it's summer. I'm having fun. I'm going to see some family. And yeah, just excited about it. So we'll see. People's Guild in the house too. Let's go. Who's hyped to move to Solana? Man, this guy right here. If there's two candidates, I would hope for either Base or Solana. And actually, if I'm being honest, I have nothing but love for the Solana community, but I don't trust the network. And I mean, look, it's the Bitcoin maxim, right? I don't trust any of the networks, but I trust Base a little bit more than I do Solana, only because it's backed by a regulated US exchange. So, you know, there's a lot of heads that can roll if they ever do anything to mess up Base. Whereas like and I'm not the perfect person for this, but like, I don't even know, I can't name anybody that's part of Solana, right? I don't know who to go to. I don't know like what's going on there. The chain is definitely not sufficiently decentralized, but that's not what you're going for, right? You're going for a blockchain based, just kind of like application at that point, or application chain, what I don't know what you want to call it. It's been a long day, sorry. So I would actually say, if I had to pick, I would go with Base. Now, one of my most hyped projects overall for this upcoming bull run, which is the Parallel Colony game that's launching, that is going to be on Solana. So at the same time, because like they're kind of straddling two horses there, right? They're doing Solana and they're doing Base for the trading card game, and then Solana for Colony, which should be interesting because I think that they probably had a lot of incentives to like expand out to that chain. So that should be interesting. But I don't know, if I had to pick, I would go with Base, just because I think Coinbase has too much pull. There's too much there. Right? Like they've been around, they're a trusted name. And here's the thing, the difference between Coinbase and like FTX, for example, is that Coinbase has like, I don't know, 7 out of the however many ETFs, Bitcoin ETFs that they are custodying, right? Like I think they're partnered with BlackRock. So I would trust a Coinbase based product rather than Solana at this point. And again, I like Solana. Don't even get me wrong. I like Solana, but if we're looking at where the incentives are, we're all talking about a Coinbase listing. Wouldn't it be fantastic if we got to move to Base, or we moved to Base because there was some incentive there, and then the game actually started to get popular, that Coinbase was like, yeah, we should list a token, right? Like that'd be pretty sweet. And I'm not saying that's how it's going to happen. I have no idea, but it's like, we'll be like 1 degree of separation at that point. New Age is watching from the airport. Oh yeah, we got that one already. What's up, New Age? You're back home finally. All right, man. Well, I hope all is well. Glad you made it home. All right, Brandon Vev V's in the house. So we got a solid lineup tonight. Heck yeah. Who else has been DCAing into the last dip and are up above cost basis even before we reach all-time highs? Woo, let's go bull run. Yeah, I've been aggressively going after Bitcoin, especially when it dipped down into the not the 90s. Oh man, Freudian slip. Can't wait for the future. When it dipped down into the 50s. And so I'm happy to see that already doing well. FYI, from State of Survival, I started playing again. It's expensive to rent Rebellion cards. Also, Drybone Raider is way too OP. I like it, but it's, you know what? I only have it at level 2, so I guess I need it. I think it gets cripple at one of the other levels, at level 3. So yeah, that's another one where I'm like struggling to drop 25K on these legendary pulls. Guaranteed legendary pulls, which is kind of dumb because I should just do it, but there's I have too many already that like the chances of me getting something valuable, or sorry, not valuable, but the chances of me getting something helpful is just down too much. And even though I made a video saying that I was not going to start saving for the start hoarding glint for Rebellion, I think I changed my mind because the more I look at it, the more I'm willing to go and probably pay overprice for the commons at least. Because if the commons in the Rebellion set are anywhere near as good as some of the commons from what's that called? From our set right now, the Chaos Legion set. Oh, that's gonna be crazy. So, we have a new member, Red Rover. Thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate you. The membership program is something that I definitely want to expand upon. So keep an eye out for that as we move forward. But Red Rover, thank you so much for the support and for everybody who's been a member through the crazy, crazy times this year. It's not even this year, these last few years. But I want to say, guys, because I know here's where I struggle with balancing like community sentiment with where the project is at, with where the tokens are at, and with where like the rest of the bull run is at. I know that I'm gonna get totally like I welcome a lot of any and all criticism that will come from me saying this. As frustrated as we've been, and trust me, I've been as frustrated as many other people with what has been going on in the Splinterlands ecosystem. I still genuinely think, and it's not a prediction, but I still genuinely think that if a massive bull run happens, we will be able to at least recover some sloppy seconds from whatever kind of euphoria that hits, right? I don't have any delusions of grandeur that, SPS is going to set new all-time highs. I think that's almost impossible at this point, unless Matt and team are successful at what they're doing in terms of bringing in new players. But it's like I wish them well and I have confidence in what they're trying to do. But at the same time, I want to be realistic. I don't know how effective it's going to be when, there's just too many other cool things out there. So that being said, I'm still excited for where things are headed with Splinterlands from a gaming perspective. And I do think that there will be a new subset of players that come in. What their experience is like, I have no idea yet. Although my hope is that it ends up being good if a lot of them end up coming in over the next 6 months before we get, really toppy. And if the team can get their new player experience and start marketing in Q4, as they said, which I'll be honest, based on that interview, shout out to People's Guild, based on that interview Matt did, they don't seem like they're very close to. So I guess legitimate fears about them missing the bull run are now starting to creep back into my head. But that being said, even if they miss the bull run, this is what I'm talking about. Sloppy seconds, essentially just like dripping all the way down to us in the micro cap. It's like, it's a $10 million token. And when people realize that the game's been around, that it survived the bear market, 2 bear markets, you're going to get some people that come in and just decide or try to either check it out or speculate on the token, whatever the case is. Again, I'm not trying to make any predictions here, but I would be shocked. I would be shocked if we were still under a penny in a year's time from now, right? Or whenever the bull run is kicking into high gear. Again, I might have to eat those words. And I know I'm putting it out here on the record, but I would be genuinely shocked. So I'm not even looking at this and saying like, oh, this is like a great play. You can make an easy 2x on the SPS, right? All we need to do is go to 1.2 cents. No, I'm not even talking about it from a price perspective. I'm just saying there's too much going on in the rest of the marketplace, and people, I mean, this is outside of like crypto, right? Although crypto plays into this, but people are getting desperate. I mean, and I don't mean that in like, you know, there's civil unrest, although maybe in some places of the world they definitely are. But people are getting desperate in the sense where they're just looking at how the cards are stacked against them and willing to take bigger risks. And right now, crypto is the biggest, most decentralized casino out there that people can take part in, right? I mean, this is where all the gains happen. People, like when people walk into an actual casino, they know the odds are against them. They know that the house always wins, or, you know, never always bet on the house. But with crypto, there's the idea that like, oh, you can buy some random ass meme coin, or you can, you know, get into some project, and all of a sudden 30x later, your life is changed. And so I think if Bitcoin continues to do what I think we all expect it to do, at some point you will see the masses start to come in, not because they're interested in the tech, not because they're interested in, you know, the games, not because they understand the nature of money, or, you know, the decentralized aspects of what Bitcoin and crypto are trying to do, but because they see the gains, because they get greedy, and because they're desperate. So I don't even want to label it as greedy. It's just they're desperate. So it's like, I don't know. I'm kind of getting into a little bit of a rant here, but let's hop back into the chat and see where people are at. All right. So Banana says, I don't know anything about Solana, to be honest. Like I said, I only know a couple projects on there. And in fact, I haven't done much on Solana in a very long time, but I know that the community seems to be very strong. They survived the FTX collapse. I believe FTX was, don't quote me on this because I don't know, but I believe that FTX was one of the backers of the chain initially. So people weren't sure if it would be able to come back on its own. And now that it has, I think it goes to show the strength of the economy there. Sorry, not the economy, but strength of the community. All right, so Brandon says, State of Survival, good luck with Rebellion Rentals. I navigated that world for 2 months, expensive and inconsistent. Careful planning for season timing. Lucky I don't have to rent Rebellion anymore. Nice. Well, hey, Rebellion costs have come down. Should we take a gander at that? Because that's not a great chart. Actually, hey, can anyone tell me, is there a good chart in Splinterlands? I dare someone to find me a good chart in Splinterlands. Show me a good chart. I'm pretty sure everything is down and to the right. No, not staking. Set value is what I wanted. I mean, even the bot farms is down and to the right. Yeah, okay, so 43.90 looks like the low. We're not too far up from that. So it's gotten cheaper to get into the game. All right, People's Guild says, oh, interesting. Everything I know about Solana is exciting. Solana is more decentralized than most other chains. You know, at this point, maybe it is. And I would have to refresh my knowledge on what's going on with Solana. But either way, I would be happy with either, because there's clearly sentiment, and more importantly, there's clearly money on these other chains, right? You know, the other part that's interesting about this too is people always get so worried about gas fees. And right now, everyone's like, oh, Hive is great because like everything's like based on the blockchain. But like still, your NFTs don't even live on the blockchain. Like here's my pitch, right? here's my pitch for people to understand this, and I'll need to like go into more detail maybe in another video or in the future. But it's like your NFTs, and I don't mean this disparagingly, but it's just true. Your NFTs in Splinterlands are not real NFTs. They live on the Splinterlands server. If the Splinterlands server goes down, you don't own an NFT, right? Like it's gone. As opposed to, and I'll talk about it glowingly, but it's true, right? As opposed to something like what's that called? Parallel, where I bought the NFTs of these cards. They sit in my private wallet. All I have to do is connect my private wallet to the game, and then all of a sudden I'm able to earn in-game, right? So there's a difference there, because if the game goes down, those cards are still in my private wallet. If the Splinterlands servers go down, you're screwed. So here's the thing. Maybe people realize that, maybe they don't. Either way, consciously or subconsciously or unconsciously, right? Everybody is cool with it at this point. Like it just is what it is. So I would say if we do move to another chain, then what we should really be focused on is only paying gas fees. Like we should create, basically Splinterlands servers should be a side chain the same way that other games are, right? They all have their own side chain at this point that has like either free transactions or whatever the case is. But if everything's happening on the Splinterlands servers anyway, then just leave it on the Splinterlands servers. But if you want to withdraw, for example, your SPS, you can do that. And at that point, you can pull it out into your own private wallet and get, pay a gas fee. And hopefully on Base or on Solana, that gas fee will be ridiculously low, right? Or significantly lower than something like ETH. But it's like, yes, we're moving towards Web 2. And I know that's like really the antithesis of what Matt is trying to do. But my whole point is that you could make it easier so that people could stomach the change, because then they wouldn't be paying gas fees. Everything would just be done on the centralized servers anyway, except for things that were token based and being able to put the token base, being able to pull the tokens off. I wouldn't want it to have anything to do with ETH, but I do think a chain move might be more beneficial. Yeah, I wouldn't move to ETH either, but I would do Base, which is the layer 2. So I don't know if you're saying that you don't want ETH at all. All right, so People Kill says, Aftersound, look into Blinks and Fire Dancer. Some super cool stuff coming down the track for Solana in the near term. Oh, yes. All right, will do. Major and Ultimate Chest for the win. I just maxed Quora this morning. Whoa! Congratulations. I want that Dispel on my Quora. Banana says, yeah, I only need a couple copies of a couple legendaries, so not willing to blow 25k glint on such a slim chance. Yeah, at this point, I think I'll just buy whatever I need. I know it's going to be expensive, but I don't know. I'm more excited about the Rebellion cards, I guess. When After Dark 2 in Miami. Well, actually, we have a rough date for After Dark 2. I believe it's going to be the last day. The last weekend of October. So similar to what we did last year. What is this? October. Yeah, Saturday, October 26th is that weekend. But I think we were thinking of Atlanta again. Although maybe we can persuade Darkest Night to do Miami. I'm down for whatever. Anyway, hit me up. All right, People's Guild says, bring on the sloppy seconds. Blockchain Project says, oh yes, we will get some sloppy seconds, but will the team take advantage and save 4 years worth of expenses? I actually think Matt will. I think Matt will do a great job. I think he's learned from the past. He's become very frugal, very conservative, and he's just trying to create this vision. If he can bring in the fan base, or if he can bring in a bigger player base, and they can get some capital, access to some capital, either from outside sources or from new players coming into the game, I do think, and at least I hope, Matt will stay very focused on creating the game and create a runway that's like 3 years long rather than just 6 months. Red Rover says SPL has a loyal fan base. I agree. Again, to me, the game economy is one of the most fascinating in the space. So I know a lot of other game economies are popping up that are very interesting, but at this point, it's also like there's an emotional attachment to it too, right? Like I've been in the game for a while. I personally had the chance to, work with the team on several opportunities. So that was awesome. I know a lot of people there. I know they're hardworking and they're just trying to make an awesome experience for people. And then I got to meet a lot of you guys, right? I got to meet a lot of you guys either at Splinterfest a couple of years ago, or I got to connect with you online, or just meet you in person. We did like After Dark Fest with Darkest Night and Walking Keys. So I just feel like there's a really solid community here, which is a huge part of what keeps me coming back. Supreme Victory Studios, TPG, what up? All right, so Blockchain Project says, why do you say people are against the wall? People you know saying this to you? Maybe it's just a social media effect. But there's a lot of stuff that I'll see out there actually, let me put it this way. Like inflation, I don't know where you live at, but like in the US, inflation is not insignificant. I know that they keep trying to downplay it, and it's like, oh, we're getting down to 2%, whatever the target is, right? But I've seen prices rise everywhere, and I do wonder how do people process this? You know what I mean? Like, how do they how are they wrapping their brains around what is actually going on? Because for somebody that is not orange pilled into Bitcoin and understands the nature of money, the M2 supply, like just all, like everything that, even if you're just loosely involved in crypto, you at least understand the ethos of it. Some people I feel like are just floating through, and they know that the costs are going up, but they're not doing anything to protect themselves from it, right? If anything, it becomes a talking point that they just complain about. And so I'm not trying to hate or throw shade on anyone. I think it's like, obviously I try to orange pill people whenever I can, but I do feel like there are a lot of, I don't know, NPCs, what do we call them? NPCs, zombies that are just like floating through, and it's like, yeah, things are getting more expensive, but I don't know why, right? Like life is getting tougher. I can't afford vacations. I can't afford the going out to eat. I can't afford this, but it's not hitting them fast. It's like a frog in boiling water is the best metaphor that I can come up with, right? It's happening slowly, and things accelerated after the pandemic and all the money printing there, because like real inflation was like probably over 30%. And even though that, officially in the US, we only hit like 9% or something like that, I've seen a lot of the goods and services and food and stuff that I buy, it's gone up more than 10% a year, 5% a year, whatever their numbers, whatever the official numbers are. It's definitely gone up faster than that, So I don't know. It's been a struggle. So Red Rover says, what about Avalanche? I don't know much about Avalanche. I mean, I know there's a lot of hype around it, especially last bull run, but I don't know where it's at right now. And I'm going to go out on a limb here and make a dumb prediction that I don't know that it's got like, there's a lot of stuff that popped off last bull run, or sorry, there's always stuff that popped off in the previous bull run that just doesn't like make any waves this time around. And Avalanche, I haven't been hearing much about, to be honest. Why? Because there's something new and shiny called Base or Arbitrum or Optimism, right? People don't want to leave Ethereum if they don't have to. And now you have sufficient layer twos, one of them backed by one of the biggest exchanges in the world. And so I think that many of the other L1s are going to struggle if they cannot find a way to discern themselves or distinguish themselves appropriately. Solana is interesting because it survived and it has a strong community, but let's think about what were the other like super popular L1s from last run. There was Avalanche. I remember Polkadot. There was like Cosmos. Again, there were a bunch that nobody's talking about right now. And my guess is that, you have Kaspa and all these other things, Kaspa, Base, like all of these other L1s that are potentially going to launch, and they're going to get all the attention, right? So what I say about Splinterlands and like the new shiny thing, that's not just gaming. That is like literally crypto every cycle, right? The only thing that's really bucked the trend, oddly enough, is Ethereum, right? Ethereum has had staying power just because there's so much intellectual capital that's building on Ethereum. And it was really the first to do it. But outside of that, I don't know, man. We'll have to wait and see. All right, 3Von says Splinterland's better ROI than the lottery, probably. Well, I won't disagree with you on that. It's definitely much easier to calculate. Unstaked SPS going up. Oh, I think this was in response to my show me a good chart on SPS. Wait, isn't unstaked SPS going up not a good thing? Oh boy. All right. Your point about SPL NFTs reminds me. Disagree with your take on vouchers. Oh, this took a left turn. Wait, hold on. Are we talking about my NFTs? Disagree with your take on vouchers. DAO equaling vouchers responsibilities. Vouchers are created by, used in, and tracked 100% by SPL. Neil made the point on last Monster Mav show. Okay, so I don't disagree with you. Okay, hold on. Let's see where we can find some common ground here, Vedvi, because I know we're on the same page about this. Let's put it this way: the vouchers have become the DAO's responsibility, but it was really never with the consent of the governed, right? We did not get a say because there was no governance back then, but we did not get a say on how many vouchers should be printed, when vouchers should be printed, what the schedule should be, what their use case is. That was all decided before governance was put in. So in that sense, I agree with you that the team, I mean, we know the team messed it up. Matt even admits the team messed it up. But where are we supposed to go forward from here? Because if people don't want to get rid of vouchers and the team is trying to wash their hands clean of this, then the DAO needs to do something. And so the more I talk about vouchers, funny, I was just DMing with People's Guild and Bjangles, or not People Guilds, with DJ earlier. And I was like telling him, I'm like, I'm kind of over vouchers, even though I have a lot of, or I have, some node licenses. I get a lot of vouchers every day. I just sell them. Like, what am I going to do? And they've just become such a drag on the game economy. So I don't disagree with you in that sense. It's kind of awkward and awful that the team is trying to wash their hands clean of this and just give it to the DAO and say it's the DAO's responsibility, because we did not decide how much, right? I don't know who made that decision in whatever back room. I'm sure, not to point fingers, but I'm sure Aggie was involved, right? He was a big proponent of vouchers back in the day, but now he's not even in the conversation, right? So I don't know. The more I think about it, the more it frustrates me, and the more I lean towards, let's just get rid of them, right? Because it's like, even if you look, no matter how you look at it, whether it's like a failed thing by the team or something that's salvageable or whatever the case is, like, Matt is just so disinterested in doing anything with vouchers. And so if he's not passionate about it, objectively speaking, you can get upset about how he feels about whatever, but objectively speaking, if he's not passionate about it, I don't think that we should be spending any more time on it than we need to, or we should just remove it completely. So congrats, People's Guild. Max Core is beast mode. New Age says I'm down. Oh, first, not Splinterfest, but yeah, we'll make After Dark 2 happen. Cheers, Vet. I would say I have an edge on Ultims now, but nope. I've seen your post. I'm open to host participants of After Dark. Ooh, all right. Well, I haven't been to Miami in a long time. 2011, I think, was the last time. And it seems like it's changed a lot, so it'd be cool to check out. I heard if you guys talk about GLS randomly on a sports podcast, it must be growing. Bro, there's no way. There's no way. There's no way. They must have been talking about some other GLS. Because I guarantee you, if you look at that tournament, there's like 6 people playing GLS right now. There's like a summer tournament that's going on for GLS, and I think there's like 6 people playing it. It's kind of sad, because I'm saying this out of love. I want it to succeed, but nobody cares about it. And I don't know what season 2 is going to look like, but man, this whole Invenium thing has been frustrating as well, because I was checking. We were all playing Moon Carts back in February. The pre-sale for Moon Carts went live in March. And we're sitting here 4 months later in July, and there's no working game yet, or at least there's no working game in terms of like earning rewards. And I think Aggie said maybe by the end of this month, but like I just can't trust any kind of date given out, because they told us 2 months, right? I think that was like the maximum amount of time given, or I just remember we were told about it in February, and then we were told 2 months, or like the oh shit timing that he had, meaning that it would take, if it took the team too long, it would be 2 months. So I was expecting it like late April or May. So I think that lines up with the time. But here we are in June, and it's like, I don't know. But what's funny is I'm looking at that colony token, and I'm DCing into the colony token a little bit. People's Guild, Ultimate Drives pulling extra rewards and Gladiator cards deck, and he finds a way to use them effectively. He looks sad. I made your brain fart the other day and burned my level 8 Whistling Damon. I was on the phone and oh my goodness. That sucks. All right, whoops. I thought I had all my Gladiator cards locked. Nope, they are now. Smart move. All right, so Banana says they use tricks to make it seem like grocery bills are up only 20%. Well, in my case, they are. The total bill might be 120 instead of 100, but it's buying less or crappier food. Yeah, I mean, people have definitely have to like buy either lower quality or just less food in general. There was somebody who posted a screenshot of like the Walmart app here in the US, where it said something like, basically they bought something in 2021, I think, or 2020. And then 4 years later, they went back and you could see all your orders in your Walmart account. And it's like, you could hit the reorder button and it would like add everything to your cart. And it was 4 times the amount, or some ridiculous thing like that. So, it's, and the things that they do with CPI is really shady. Like, so I just don't trust any numbers that come out. I look at M2 money supply, and ultimately for me, like I'm a Bitcoin maxi. So Bitcoin is like literally I use it as the yardstick for like how is value being accrued in the hardest asset. And I mean, obviously we went on a crazy tear in 2021, but look at us now. Rates, like Bitcoin is sitting at 65K. Interest rates are at 5+%, right? Or whatever it is. They haven't done any rate cuts yet. And we're back near all-time highs. Just imagine once the cycle starts to change, once the pivot happens, once there's a little bit more liquidity in the system. Bananas, but if you're buying the same exact stuff, you're spending like 300% more. Yep, I agree. Price of cheese is through the roof. Here in Brazil, hey, Lord Roll Hilo, what's up? All right, here in Brazil, we have something called redeflation. That's basically inflation, but instead of increasing prices, we decrease the weight on food. Oh, you know what? We have something here called shrinkflation. So, for example, I just saw this the other day. I forgot what brand it was, like the paper towel brand. Like one of the paper towel brands, or Walmart, or their paper. Okay, no, I don't even know. I don't remember who the brand was, but it was paper towels, and it, instead of it having like 160 sheets like it normally does, now it has 120 sheets, but they kept the price the same. So they reduced the amount of product inside by 25%, but they're still charging the same price for it. So you buy a chocolate tablet for the same price, but instead of 100 grams, you get 80. Mind tricks. Yeah, man, it's a sneaky thing. So Brandon says, exactly, regarding vouchers, it shouldn't have been put on the DAO. Yaba should rip Band-Aid off, remove them, and move forward. Yeah. Well, you know what? I mean, the problem is they just messed up in so many ways. Like they just never should have been given to node licenses. Like that was like the nail in the coffin. Or maybe not the nail in the coffin, but like that started us on this downward trend. Like when that happened, I couldn't believe it. that was probably the moment that my eyes opened. I'll be honest. If we go back that far, because obviously, like I've been a big proponent of obviously of Splinterlands and everything that they're doing, but when I joined the game in 2021, I respected the fact that they respected the white paper, right? Like, so much so that it was going to be to the detriment of like DEC, and it was going to screw a lot of people over because it was just way too high above peg. And, we had no idea how that they were going to handle all the different things when it came to DEC. But I remember in like early, when I say early in my journey, but like, we'll say fall of 2021, when vouchers first started coming out for Chaos Legion. And like, that was the thing that you needed. If you wanted to get vouchers, you had to stake SPS. And, vouchers were always going to have this value and access to all the coolest things in the game, blah, blah, blah. And then they gave it to node licenses in May of 2022. And you could probably go back and maybe track my sentiment. You could definitely track my wallet, because at that point I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, this is just another crypto project now. My eyes have been opened again. I had to go through another bear market to realize that I am truly a Bitcoin maxi. I forgot, because it's funny, at the beginning of 2021, like I was like pretty much all in Bitcoin, but then you just like slowly get seduced with like, oh, this is cool. Well, hey, they're doing some cool, interesting things. But ultimately it just ended up not being cool or interesting or lucrative. So that was I remember that was the moment for me, because I was just like, okay, I don't know what I can trust in here anymore. And I don't mean that to be like they did something nefarious or they did something whatever. But I personally felt like it was wrong and shouldn't have been done. And from that point forward, I was like, all right, well, we're probably just going to be tinkering with tokenomics, and I don't know where vouchers are going to get added again. I don't know if vouchers are going to get taken away. Right? Like, I don't like, and what SPS use case is going to happen, because 2 months after that, all of a sudden you could burn SPS. That wasn't in the white paper either. And as like burning tokens is such a marketing gimmick, right? Because clearly it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter until it does, and most of the time it doesn't matter. So I don't know. It's just frustrating. All right, so here we go. Stage problem. How can we make node owners whole again, especially if vouchers are gone? I think the best way is just to increase the amount of SPS. If you remove the SPS distribution from the LP, I don't know the full numbers, but you don't even have to give everything, right? If you remove the SPS distribution from the voucher SPS LP and give even just a portion of that to node holders, I think that will make 90% of node holders happy. It'll make me happy. But here's the thing. Vouchers are not just being taken away from nodes. They're being taken away from SPS. And I think it's only fair and appropriate to give something as compensation for staking SPS. Even though I feel like staking SPS already has enough, it's the parity of it, right? Parity with a T, right? So I almost think, and I don't even know how the numbers would line up. If it's over this amount, then definitely don't do it. But if it's under the amount or equivalent, I would say if you remove vouchers entirely, take whatever's designated for the SPS voucher LP, cut it in half and throw it into the pile for SPS stakers as well as node license holders, and call it a day. I think that's the easiest, cleanest solution. It gives everybody access more of the token, in which I think has the most upside for this ecosystem, or asset that has the most upside for the ecosystem, that's designed to go up over time and be absolutely deflationary. But maybe that's just me trying to simplify things too much. Blockchain Project says, I'm concerned for nodes. When SPS stops printing, there will be no incentive to operate, and to rely on the DAO will be painful. Well, the DAO is going to need to find ways to continue to earn SPS in the long run so that it can distribute more and more rewards. I genuinely think partnering with the Splinterlands team and pricing things in DEC in SPS every once in a while is the way to go, especially at times like this when SPS is low. But people, and I'm sure Matt, are very much against pricing anything in anything other than DEC. Brand says 20% inflation on food in the US is BS. We are at 60 to 80%. So yeah, I believe that. The only way I see for that is nodes charging for transactions like one DEC microtransactions. Maybe at some point in the future. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility for the SPS chain to charge a small fee for transactions. Like, even if we only go to 3 decimal places, charge 0.001 SPS for every transaction, right? Of like, if you want to send SPS or vouchers from one account to another, or withdraw it from one chain to another, have that be a part so that it's slowly over time, like burn half of that and the other half goes towards node license holders. I don't know if that's going to be enough, but at least it'll be something. Therefore, we have coordinated sharing in the raising, processing of meat chickens and a pig. We get half. Soon we'll find a way to get 1/4 of a cow. That'll be good for the next year plus. Man, I really need to find a butcher here. I keep saying that, but I just need to find a butcher and probably a freezer, and then get like half a cow or 1/4 of a cow. That'd be fantastic. Shrinkflation equals Bidenomics. Asking for a friend. Uh-oh. I don't think we're going to get political here, but I'm sure many people would agree with you. People's Guild says Bulldog has pitched some interesting rewards for node holders, glint bonus, land bonus, and possibly something else. I like his approach. I think his approach is smart. You want to get players all encompassing the game, and therefore node licenses should be a part of that. I made the video saying that node licenses could be integrated with land, right? So I don't know, pick a resource or create a brand new resource that's required and give that to node license holders. And then if node license holders don't care about that resource, they just sell it. But at least that's going to have some value in land. And I think, and I could be wrong on this because we've all been wrong in the past, but as long as land continues to develop and will require whatever it's requiring, there will be a demand for whatever that token is, versus vouchers, which just get printed like crazy to hell. Bet you're living the blueprint for where I want to be in the next 5 to 10 years. I agree. So it's funny, Brandon, that you say that, because I don't know, especially looking around like my area, I've always been a city person, but like I want to be able to have the kind of space to do what you're doing right now with chickens and cows and stuff. And so I'm like, I don't know if I romanticize that too much, but I would love to be in that position and have a much bigger space for it. All right, Ankh says, what's going on? Good to see you too, Ankh. Thank you for the support. All right, so People's Guild, it won't take that long for you. Just showed today beta card prices are below BCX. The market has reset. New whales are being born in these times. Let's hope so. People goes, oh, you mean real life? Yeah, just want to find a great partner with passion and working together. Amazing things can be built. All right, Blockchain Project says in 2026, the 1st of January, I'll be holding 0 alts. That's a good time to do it. And that was my problem last time. I listened to everybody with the whole like, oh, Bitcoin's going to 100K, Bitcoin's going to 100K. I should have definitely been taking profits. And what's funny is I was just not enough. And then, of course, my dumbass was taking profits and then buying stuff in Splinterlands. I was like, oh yeah, dude, just made some money on this crypto. Now I want to go buy some Chaos Legion packs. Let's do it. Oh, what a terrible idea. What a terrible idea. All right, so Ankh12 says, I bought another node, 6 keeps, a castle, and a bunch of gold foil untamed cards in the last 30 days. Hell yeah, man. Good for you. I hope it pays off. I really do. All right, so Ankh is beast mode. Oh yeah, definitely meaning the real life blueprint. We'll see if that plays out here in Taiwan or elsewhere. That self-sustainable life is awesome. Indeed. 100. Ankh is ridiculous. Just saw a gold foil Grimbar Dune. Got swooped up. I have a giant freezer right in my kitchen. Yeah, I'm going to need to get another freezer too. Also maxed my gold foil Yodin. Oh, wow. Bananas. That is the way. Let me know when you get 1 upright, 2 chest freezers in the basement, and a studio-sized fridge freezer combo for milk storage. Economies like now have many, many deals. You know what, though, Brandon? See, okay. Because the thing is, I'm big on, well, obviously meat. So my freezer is usually full. But then Then I get hit with a hurricane and lose power for 3 days, and then everything goes bad. And it's like, ah. But I know if it were to ever come to that point, and I had access to like multiple freezes, it would be time to invest in a generator. All right, if the SPS chain charges for transactions, I buy nodes this instant. I don't think that it's a terrible idea, but keep in mind the team's not going to do that. So we're going to need to hire someone, probably this JPTR group, to build that in. Facebook Marketplace is the new Craigslist. Facebook Marketplace is great. Actually, you know what? I haven't bought anything on Facebook Marketplace, at least not in a long time, if ever. But I do like selling stuff on there because people scoop it up like crazy. My worst purchase in the last year has been Parallel Avatar. Oh no! You know what's so funny? Keys and I wanted one so badly. What are they even at right now? Oh, let me see. I want to see if my computer can handle all this. All right, let me close up some things. Parallel Avatar. I mean, like literally 3-4 months ago, Keys and I were looking at them, and we were actually going to go halvesies on it. And then, I don't know, life got in the way probably for the best. Oh my gosh, 0.35 ETH. Yeah. You know what? I'm glad that happened, that we just got completely sidetracked. And I haven't even been spending much time in Parallel either. Because the thing is, I still want one for Colony, but now would be the time to buy. Because it was going for like over an ETH at that point, I think. But I hope it'll ultimately be good for you in the long run. Got it for 0.88 ETH. Thought it was a snag. I'll say this: I don't know if you're trying to flip it or what you want it for, but if you're playing, you should be earning more on it over time, or earning more because of it with the bonus. And then our plan. I don't know if he'd want me saying this, but like our plan was to like grab it and then potentially like mint whatever, basically just use it until Colony came out. So it was going to be like a flip for us, but I wanted to have one so that we could experience Colony to the fullest, do some content on it together, and then see where things went. But like, it was never going to be like a buy and hold for the long run. Oddly enough, I'm feeling a little more confident now in Splinterlands than 3 months ago. That is not rational at all. But you know what, Lord Rolhilo, I think that something that I just chuckle at now, because it's like it's so frustratingly wrong. It's like anytime somebody's just like, oh, we're hitting like true capitulation now, because like people have been saying that for the last 2 years, and like like people that I know, right, people that are like hardcore into the game, and I'm just like, bro, you don't. I love them, right? I mean, because they're like hardcore supporters of the game, whatever. But I'm like, this sounds like the biggest cope I've ever heard. Like, you just like every time it goes lower, you just keep saying that. And when SPS goes less than 0.5%, you're going to say that again, right? But I say all of that to come back around to your comment here, where I understand your sentiment of feeling confident rather than 3 months ago. And I think there's a couple of things that lead into that. The first of which is, and kudos to the team, credit where credit is due, right? They have effectively gotten rid of bots through economics and not through ban hammers, which is what they wanted to do. So now that they've done that, they can rebuild the game from start and from scratch, and they recognize that in order to do that, you need to make it more fun and appealing for players without charging them an arm and a leg. And that's what they're doing. And it's just, we are in that moment right now. And unfortunately, that moment is taking a lot longer than everybody expected, because I think most people thought it would be done by the middle of the year, which is now. and the time frame for it has been extended to end of Q3, so end of September or maybe early October. I'm saying here, and I know that this is Papa Bear coming out, but based on Matt's recent interview with TPG, I'm looking at that, and I think that they're probably running behind even further. Or if they're not running behind, I'm not feeling confident in whatever Matt's update was about the marketing, right? Like, I like here's the thing. Matt's a smart guy, right? Matt is actually, I think he's brilliant in many ways. So when he comes in and he says, "I'll know it when I see it," nah. Like, Matt, you're hyper rational and super logical. I don't want you to go off of your feelings, right? So if you're saying "I'll know it when I see it," it means that either A, you haven't done the research yet because you've been too busy, and that's totally cool, or B, you have done the research yet and you haven't found something. And so either of those don't lead me to feel confident that marketing is right around the corner. So, either way, it's just, I think we'll get there, right? And I think it'll actually be easier once the market starts to pick up. And so if he's not able to find what he's looking for now, my hope is that by Q4, the bull run does get into full gear. And then all of a sudden, everybody's coming out of the woodwork to be like, "Oh yeah, I want to work in crypto," right? And at that point, it becomes easier to find someone. And even if we implement it, now this is me offering some copium, right? Even if we implement the marketing strategy in Q1 of next year, which is 6 months later than my initial thought, right? I still think we'll be okay, because I don't think that the bull run is going to end abruptly in Q1 2025. I think if it follows anything like previous cycles, we'll probably see it go at least into Q2. I don't know about Q4, like going all the way to Q4, similar to how previous ones have been, right? 2017 and 2021. But I don't know that it's going to be like a one and done. I mean, maybe if a certain political party wins in November, that has been, quite hawkish, or I don't know what the term is, hawkish on crypto, that might mute things. But to me, there's no stopping the Bitcoin train. And so Bitcoin is going to do what it's going to do. But the rest of alt season is very much dependent on the regulatory environment, I think. Thrivon. Okay, we talked about that already. All right, guys, I'm going to have to hop off. Oh, very soon. So let me go ahead and catch up on the chat here real quick, and then we'll call it a day. All right, so weather impacting power prep is needed. We have a portable generator, 8,000 watts, easily powers multiple fridge. Well worth the purchase. Yeah, as I go through each of these subsequent kind of like major world events, whether it's pandemic or now natural disasters and stuff, my preparation gets better and better every time. And I'm learning from the best. I'm learning from Darkest Night and Walking Keys. But Brandon, I think there's much I can learn from you as well. I'm feeling things are a little bit more real now. Total number of Split players, number of subscribers on your channel. Yeah, I agree. Although, what's funny is some people will come back and comment and be like, I haven't played Split in over a year, but I'm still subscribed to your channel. What's going on? So I wouldn't trust the subscriber numbers on here. They were down to 0.22. Oh, yeah. No, I'm hopeful too. I think you'll be all right. Keep in mind, the game is not coming out until 2025. But thank you for the offer to borrow it for content. That'd be pretty cool. I'm fascinated with AI. I think I talked about it on the last live stream. I want to do some fun AI content. I talked about it on the last stream, but I don't know where to do it. Like, I could do it on this channel, but I don't think it makes sense. And then I was like, I could do it on my main channel, even though that's like mainly music. So it doesn't make sense there. And I don't feel like starting another channel because it's just too much. But I'm really excited about AI. All right, so just saw CryptoPost study offsides and sideline capital buying back higher. Happen to have any sources for this info? Study offsides and sideline capital buying crypto back higher. I don't know that specifically, but I do know that I think there's $16 billion worth of value being given back to creditors for FTX. And I saw of the 16 billion that's going to be given back, 12 billion is going to be in cash. And so I have to imagine that a good portion of that 12 billion is going to go right back into the market. because people recognize where things are at right now. If they're getting paid cash and they understand Bitcoin, they still want to be in Bitcoin. I don't see why bots wouldn't pop right back up the second it becomes profitable again. Well, I agree with you, but the difference is this time bots will be required to own or rent cards. And at some point, if we get, just a handful of new players, couple thousand, that could actually make cards scarce. And then on top of that, bots are not allowed in modern, meaning that they would have to play in wild. And there's now a fee in wild. So that would be burning a lot of vouchers and or DEC, hopefully only DEC in the future. Blockchain says, I'm into Todd McFarlane digital NFTs. I focus on Superman ones, Walking Keys, going on and on about them. Oh yeah, he's really into that too. Bananas, bot can always make money, but need bigger capital to get them profitable. Exactly. And they'll be feeding back into the system. Instead of leeching like they did for 2021 and 2022, or most of 2022, they will now be required to give back into the system. And so this is where it gets interesting, right? Like, I would love for SPS to go to 30 cents, but if people will continue to need because it makes it profitable for everybody, including bots. But then the bots come in, they need to scoop up cards, they need to pay DEC every season in wild in order to play. And so we're just getting this increasing amount of DEC getting burned, right? Which indirectly will go back to SPS getting burned and bought. Have any prognostication on when rate cuts in the US, pricing in those, first big upswing, cuts take hold for cheaper, steep bull run curve? I'm not an expert on this. I get my information from a lot of the macro analysts. So I'll follow, like, Lynn Alden's one of my favorites, Preston Pish. And then there's a bunch on Twitter also that talk about it too, or X. I have no idea. People were talking about a surprise rate cut in July. I don't think that's going to happen. This is just a guess from my uneducated opinion. I think that there would most likely be one before the election. I think everybody was expecting it, but at the same time, if everybody's expecting something, then I guess it's not, the opposite's going to happen. We'll see. Put in the whole house generator. Yeah, I'll need to do that. Red Over says, we are looking at that for sure. Or Brand says, we're looking for sure. For current purpose sufficient. Awesome. All right, guys, this was super fun. I'm glad we had a solid crowd tonight. Thank you for engaging with me in some good discussion about Splinterlands, life, and I guess the economy. Hopefully some good stuff coming up. I don't think that I will be able to stream Thursday morning before the town hall. That's why I wanted to do this. I don't even know what time is the town hall. Let me see. I'm trying to see if it's a morning or evening. Oh, but you know what? I have dinner plans on Thursday, so I won't be able to do an evening stream either. Oh, it's a 6 p.m. stream. Sorry, 6 p.m. town hall. So it's the late one, and then I'll probably be out of dinner pretty late. So I don't know. Maybe Friday stream? I don't know. We'll see. I do want to get one in because after this week, this weekend I'm traveling for a week. I don't know how much I'll be able to stream while I'm traveling, but I'll still try to do content. But either way, this has been fun. I'll try to do it as much as I can, especially with hopefully a lot of the cool stuff coming up. Let me just put it this way. I'll close on a positive note. I'm really happy that the team has changed to a surprise and delight type of approach. I know the card rental things for land may not be the biggest deal in the world, but it wasn't something that we were strung along for weeks being told it's coming, and then it's finally here. It was just dropped on us. And that makes me excited for future updates because we know the team's working on a bunch of stuff. So let's hope that they can continue to deliver that all in a timely manner, and we're not waiting until the end of the year for all of it. But that's all I have for you guys. Have an amazing rest of your day, night, whatever time it is. Hopefully I'll see you in the town hall chat or maybe in the town hall replay because I probably won't be able to watch it live. But that's all I got. Peace.